start today's lecture, today's class. Now, first, as usual, we will briefly recall whatever we have learned in this lecture series in the previous 2-3 classes. So, we have learned uh, a mathematical concept which is known as normal form game theory, and we have learned that by using mathematical language whose name is game theory, we can represent or we can reform or rewrite the many strategic situation that we face in our daily life. And we have seen an abstract example of ants are carrying a larger prey, and we write the form of their strategic interaction in terms of a or in a form of classical game theory. Then we have introduced a particular class of game which is called strictly competitive game. We have used in the previous class. We have learned what does this strictly competitive game means, and we have seen an example of how one can write a strictly competitive game in terms of a situation where one individual needs to give some amount of money to other individual, and these basically capture the essence of a competitive game. The essence of a competitive game means the two players who are strategically interact with each other, their preference of our outcome should be exactly in the opposite manner. And since in the money exchange game, one individual is giving some amount of money to other individuals, so here the preference of the two individual will be exactly in the opposite manner. In the who are in the receiving end, that individual will always wants more amount of money, and who are in the who are in the opposite end, that means who are giving the money, that individual will always want to give as low as possible. So that we have learned that we can represent it in terms of a matrix form, and we have seen that how we means what kind of solution one can expect, or what kind of solution if I see this situation of a strictly competitive game by using um, a normative framework, then we know there is a solution concept. That solution concept we get it from when player 1 actually seeing the what are the possible best option for player 2. From that point of view, we have seen that if the player 1 see the game from the viewpoint of player 2, from there we will get that a concept that there is certain action is available for player 1 which maximizes the security level or maximizes the security level of player 1. So that is called the maximization of security level. Now if both players are maximizing their security level, then they will reach to a equilibrium and that equilibrium is called the both are opting maximum strategy, or both are adopting a strategy which maximizing their security level. And we have seen that this equilibrium has two properties, that one, it maximizes player 1 security level, and second, it is the best counter choice against the maximizer of players 2 security level. So that two property it holds, so that's why we have said it equilibrium strategy. Now this is for the strictly competitive game. However, what is the equilibrium concept for non strict that non strict competitive game or non competitive game? So we want to know that, so we will learn that but first we have to learn concept. First let me introduce some very basic games which is very important in the for the purpose of game theory. Why? Because these games, the structure of the game is very simple, but yet they are very elegant in manner that they these games capture many aspect of many aspect of human lives. So let me give examples of games, examples of games, and in this example we will see that some games contain both cooperation and conflict part, but some game as like some game which is known as competitive game only captures the conflict part or strictly competitive game. So we will see those examples also. So let us see first some example, then we will in the next class we will learn another equilibrium concept. So first let me introduce some basic concept of 2x2 game. So first we will learn a game which is uh, very famous game in game theory. Probably everyone who heard the term game theory are accustomed with this game, or in their lifetime they heard that there exists this kind of game. So first game is called famous classical prisoner dilemma. So first game is prisoner's dilemma. Prisoners dilemma. As the name is suggesting, this game captures the dilemma of prisoners. However, this game does not only captures the dilemma of the prisoners. We will learn that in this section that there are many situations that can be represented as prisoner's dilemma. So suppose dilemma. So suppose that two suspects two suspects in a major crime are held in separate cells. So this point is very important. So two suspects are in a major crime are held in held in separate cells. So why it is very important? Because we are only talking about the non-cooperative game where the pre-play talk, that means pre-play talk, that means there if before questioning before questioning these prisoners, if these two prisoners make a deal with themselves, then it will be not a non-cooperative game, it will be a cooperative game, because the prisoners are now binded by their agreement that they will not confess or something like that. So this a statement is very important for non-cooperative game. Non-cooperative game, so they are held in separate cells such that there is no communication between these two prisoners. Now the problem is, what is the problem here? Now there is no enough evidence, there is no enough evidence to convict either one of them. There is no enough evidence to convict either of them. However, there is enough evidence for convicting them for a minor crime. So now the job of the jury, job then the now the job of the police is to make a confession out of them such that the jury can have enough evidence to convict them for the major evidence. So there so these two prisoners, these two so the police provide these two prisoner the following options. One is default, since there is enough evidence for convicting them. So first option is that if they both, the first option is police gave them gave them both of the prisoner get this condition that if one individual that means one prisoner acts as an informer against the other, that means if one individual thinks so the police job is to make them confess their crime. So there for the police, they want to design the condition in such a manner that one individual or both of them confess, so that they so that they can make them convicted for the crime. And however, if they remain silent, if they both remain silent or quiet, each will be, if both of them remain quiet, then both of them will be convicted for minor crime. But as we are discussing that the that police does not want to convict them for minor crime, but they want to confess them for the major crime. So this condition is provided before two prisoners. So what is the condition? So condition is, if one of them becomes an informer, the crime committed by the other, then C will be presented as a witness before court, as witnessed against other, and since now there is a witness, then that individual has to spend. So this, now since there is a witness, so that other individual has to spend 4 years in prison. However, since these individuals get ready to serve as a witness for the other individual, so this becomes a informer, then the court will give him a prize. So that prize is that C will be freed without C will be freed. Since C acts as a witness against others, C will be free. So this is given by the court as a prize, because C acts as a witness for the other. Now if you think about the situation, now we can express this situation in terms of a game, if these are the condition that is provided before them. And another thing is, if both of them, so another option is if both of them confess, so both of them confess, then they both of them confess, both of them confess they has to serve 3 years, and if no one confess, since they are convicted of very smaller crime, so they will get punished for 1 year. Now if you think about this situation, then anyone can write a situation in terms of a game. So what are the players? Players are the two suspects. What are the actions? Actions are each player's set of action is they either think against other or stake white. Now what are the outcomes and preferences over their outcome? Preference over outcome. So obviously any individual will be prefer the outcome most, that is he will think and serve as a witness, or serve as a witness before court. Then since then he will he will be freed and other will be punished. So first will be she preferred these outcome most, that she pink and others stake white, these outcome. Then she will prefer that both remain quiet, because in this situation they will get 1 year punishment. Then they will prefer the outcome that both of them confess, or both of them confess, then both of them think, because in this situation they will be punished for 3 years. And the least preferred action will be that remain quiet when other things, because in this situation it will get 4 years of punishment, here 3 years of punishment, here 1 year punishment, and this is 0 year of punishment. Now we can associate some numbers with this. So suppose we associate numbers 3 here maybe 2, this is 1, and this is 0. Now the same situation will be true for both of them. Then we can write a game which is like this. So Now suppose that is suspect 2, this is suspect 1, suspect 1. Now this is option quiet, this is quiet, option quiet, this option is pink, again this is white, this option is pink. Now the outcome for the suspect 1 quiet is corresponding to 2, and the same for the suspect 2 is 2. The outcome pink and the quiet for suspect 1 is 3. However, for the suspect 2's perspective, it is the outcome corresponding to he remain quiet but other pink, so that means it is corresponding to this outcome, that will be 0, that is 0. And similarly here this is suspect remain quiet and other pink, so this is also 0. And for the suspect 2's perspective, he thinks but other remain quiet, so this is most preferred 3, and both of them think, that means 1 1. Now this is the situation. Here you can obviously see that if both choose quiet, that will give them most preferred outcome than if both of them think. However, if they choose this situation, everyone has a incentive that to deviate from this situation and adapt think. So this is everyone has an incentive, because if suspect 1 if from quiet to think he will get 3, so he has an incentive, and for suspect 2 also if he choose quiet to think, when suspect 1 is remain quiet, then he will get a pay of 3. So that means this in this situation, quiet situation, or since this is a optimal payoff, however here everyone has a tendency of free riding. So that's why any free riding problem can be modeled by this prisoner dilemma game. So this is called the famous prisoner dilemma game. In the later section, where we analyze the Nash, where we analyze the equilibrium, particularly the Nash equilibrium, we will see that here the Nash equilibrium is the corresponding to Fink. That means everyone will adapt a suboptimal equilibrium where they present a optimal equilibrium. Now this is the prisoner dilemma. However, as we are saying that this is not only the dilemma which represent the prisoner's case, but you can represent, suppose the arm race between two country using the same dilemma. How? So let us see that. The arm race. Now suppose that there are two neighboring countries. Now everyone wants to build an arsenal of nuclear bomb. So there is two neighboring country, two neighbor country, and everyone wants to build an arsenal of nuclear bomb. Now obviously then these two neighboring countries are clear, and what are the action available? So action available is either refraining from making the nuclear bomb or making the nuclear bomb. So they can make a, so the these are the those players here, to neighboring, to neighbor countries, two neighbor countries are the players. What are the actions? Either make a bomb or refrain from making a bomb. Now what are the preferences? Obviously here countries preferences are, so every country wants every country wants to every country wants that it has the bomb, it has the bomb, he can see however them, and the other country does not. So this is the most preferred. Then what will be the next preferred outcome? That is everyone, no one has the bomb. So this is the next preferred. Then what is the next preferred item will be that everyone has the, what will be the least preferred outcome? That it does not have the bomb but other. Now you can see, if we associate the action think with build bomb and stay quiet with don't build bomb, we can easily see that the same game can represent this this situation also, because here if you go back, the pink comma white outcome, that means one country have the bomb and other countries do not have the bomb, do not build the bomb, so they do not have the bomb. That is the most preferred outcome. Then the next preferred outcome will be that no one have the bomb, so they don't make the bomb. Then the outcome is everyone has the bomb, so everyone making the bomb, and the last outcome will be that the individual don't making the bomb but the other neighboring country make the bomb. So this is same as pink white, this is pink, this is white, this is Fink fink, this is it remains quiet for other. So this is the same as the prisoner dilemma. So prisoner dilemma, so fink white, then quiet quiet, then fink fink, quiet fink. So this is the case. So you can see that this situation is can be well represented using the same game is called prisoner dilemma. Now in the next game is battle of sexes. Now this situation is also this game is introduced for the case of an example situation. However, this game can be also be well represented by can means by this game you can represent many situation of this real world through this single game. So this next game is called the battle of sexes. And for every of these game in the next class we will learn the equilibrium concepts and what are the equilibrium associated with each game. So this game is battle of sexes. Now suppose a situation that two individuals wants to since as the name suggests that suppose a male and female partner wants to go to a date. However, their preference are they are following, so they can either go to a music concert or go to a cricket match. Now the as I am here using stereotypical view. However, for the reason of explaining, let me allow to using the stereotypical view. So suppose that male partner prefer to go to a cricket match than to a musical concert. And in the opposite, however the female partner preference is just opposite. So female partner is prefer more to musical concert than a cricket match. However, both don't want to prefer, they go separately. Two of them separately go to separate place. So if I write the what are the players says one is male and another is right say female. So two partners are the players, and what are the accents are either go to musical concert or go to see a cricket match. And what are the preferences? So the preferences of the two are different. So for the male perspective, the most preferred outcome will be CC, both of them going to cricket match. Then if they don't agree to go together, that will be less preferred outcome, because they don't want to, they always wants to go together. So this is most preferred. Then the preference wise, the next preferred item will be going to both together going to a musical concert, but they don't prefer, they are going to, one is going to a musical concert and other is going to cricket, and this is, suppose this is equally preferred, so this is equally preferred, they don't want to go separate, these two are equally bad. And from the female perspective, this is just first prefer is going to a musical concert, then both going to cricket. However, the least preferred is both of them go separately. Now we can write some numbers, suppose this is 0, this again 0, this is 1, this is 2 for the male, and for the female, suppose this is 2, this is 1, this is 0 0. Now we can write again the game in this way. So this is the female, suppose this is the male action, female action is agree to going to cricket match, agree to going to movie, not movie, to musical concert. This is going to cricket, this is musical concert, this is the choice of male, this is female. Now if we think about the situation that when both of them going to cricket, then male are getting a utility 1. However, if I see, since the second element is the payoff corresponding to the female, if I see from the perspective of the female, it is the payoff is 1, and this payoff is 0 0, this payoff is 0 0, and this payoff is from the male's perspective, the musical concert is 1, and the female's perspective it is 2. So this is represented, this is the game which is called the battle of sexes. And in the next classes we will see that the Nash equilibrium is both of these are Nash equilibrium, both CC and both MM. However, another situation which can be well represented by the situation is, think about that, suppose that consider, for example, two officials of a political party deciding the stands to take an issue. Suppose that they disagree about the base stand, but both better off if they take the same stand, and if they take different stand, the cases in which they take different stands leading voters to be confused are equally bad. So this situation is also be represented by the battle of sexes, because they both are from the same political party. So it is from the perspective of the getting vote, it is required to both of them are standing for the same issue. But however, since they do have some different view for the same issue, so their preference are in principle different on the stands. So that's why it is can be well represented by this game. Now another game we will represent here is these both of these game, the battle of sexes and the prisoner dilemma, has component of conflict and conflict and cooperation, but in the game that I am presenting, that is only conflict situation is present, and this game is competitive game, or this is strictly competitive game, so pure conflictual. So this game is called matching pennies. So here suppose there are two players are there, and as the name suggests, these are involving a penny. So what they do, so there are two players are there. Suppose the outcome is that if both of both of them are tossing two different coin, so two people choose simultaneously whether to show head or tail of a coin. If both of them show the same side, then person 2 pays person 1 a dollar. Suppose this is person 1, this is person 2. So both of them has the accents that they can show head or they can show tail, they can show head, they can show tail. So if both of them showing the same side of the coin, then person to give person 1 dollar. So that means in this situation, since both of them are showing same, in that situation person to gives person 1 dollar. That means the payoff will be represented by +1 and the payoff of the person 2 will be represented by -1, since that person 2 is giving the person 1 -1 rupees. And if, and here also the same situation, because they both of them showing the same symbol tail. Now in the other situation, when both of them are showing different symbols, different one shows head, another shows tail, or one shows tail and another shows head, then person 1 gives person 1 person 2 $1. So here person 1's payoff will be -1 and person 2's will be +1, because person 2 is receiving $1 from person 1, since both of them are showing different symbols. So here also he will get -1 and +1. Now you can see that the preference of the player 1 is strictly opposite of the preference of the player 2, and one's payoff can be represented in terms of the negative sign. So this is called a competitive game, and we have strictly competitive game, strictly competitive game. And we have seen an example in the previous day lecture, that how can one think about the solution concept in general in this game. Now another important game is called the stag hunt and the hawk tup. I will introduce these two games. So first, the stag hunt game. So this game was introduced to discuss how the inequality among men arises. Now, as the name suggests, this situation first, this game was first introduced to explain the situation a group of hunter is facing. So this, as the name suggests, this is a strategic situation which represent the conflict, or the conflict that a group of hunter face during their hunt. So what is the story behind the game? The story behind the game is that, so suppose that each hunter has two options. First, she may remain, she or he may remain attentive, he may remain attentive to pursue a stag or she may catch a hare. Now, if all hunter pursue a stag, they catch it and share it equally. If any hunters devotes her energy to catching a hare, the stag escapes and the hare belongs to the defecting hunter alone. So that means to catch a stag, it requires higher levels of efforts and energy. So one individual cannot catch a stag alone. So everyone needs to cooperate among themselves to catch a hunter. However, since they by themselves, by defecting themselves, means one individual can defect the group, one individual by defecting the group motivation, one individual can single-handedly can catch a hare, and if he can catch a hare, he will enjoy the hare alone. So here the situation is, what are the players here? And it is always preferable, means for the hunter, since the greater amount of meat is present in a stag, it is always preferable to catch a stag than to catch a hare. So let us present what are the players. Players are the hunters here. And what are the what actions available? Two actions available. One is stag, another is hare. And what are the preference? The most preferred outcome will be all players choosing for stag. Then they successfully catch the stag, and it will be equally divided among themselves, and they will like the stag most. So the most preferred outcome will be this. And then what is the then outcome is, other outcome is that some individual, the first is for everyone, and the second individuals, if he choose to go for hunting a hare. And what is the least preferred outcome? Least preferred outcome will be that if one individual are going for hunting hare, and you still choose to hunt a stag. Why it is least preferred? Because in this situation you cannot catch or hunt stag if one individual do not pay attention and go for hunting a hare. Then by your group, one or multiple individuals go for hare, then there is no enough number of individuals who can catch the stag. So let me present this situation in two player two strategy game. So first, if all the individuals, suppose two individuals are required to hunt a stag, so the first preferred outcome is the both of them are going for stag, then one is going for here, so that you are going for here, because if you are going for here, then you successfully can catch a hare and you can enjoy the meat of the hare. So that is hare and stag, and the same situation is both of them go for different hare and both of them will get to hare and both of them will enjoy. So this situation is equally preferred this, and the least preferred is you are going to hunting a stag but other is going to hunting a hare, since here you will not able to catch a stag by yourself, since others are not want to cooperate with you to go for hunting a stag. So that's why this is the preference. So most preferred outcome will be, suppose this is 3, this is 2, or maybe another way. So this is suppose 2, this is 1, this again 1, this is 0. Now if I write the game, it will be so this is stag, this is here, this is stag, this is here. Suppose this is player 1, this is for player 2. Now if both of them going for stag, obviously both of them will 2, but one is going for here, other is stag. Who is going for here will get 1, but the individuals who is going for stag will get nothing. Here same, the individuals who is going for stag is getting nothing, but the individuals who is going for stag will get 1, and if both of them are going for here, both of them going 1. So this is representing the situation of the stag and game. Now similar to the previous situation, this is not only represent this situation of gatherer hunter, but also can represent the situation of modern human beings, which is as we have seen that arm race can be represented as a prisoner dilemma, but slightly modified arm race can be also presented by this stag hunt game. Now so if in this arm race model, in the arm race model, if both countries refrain from arming themselves, so that a country prefers the outcome in which both of them do not picking the bomb, or both countries refrain from making bomb to the one in which it alone arm itself. So the cost of arming outweighing the benefit if the other country does not arm itself. So that means, so in the previous we have seen that the most preferred outcome in the arm race is that that individual who has the bomb and the other individual don't have the bomb. So if in the previous case the outcome was or bomb don't making bomb to everyone is don't want to make bombs, then everyone has the bomb, then the individual don't make bomb but other individuals has the bomb. If instead of this, if the in the arm race at a country has the preference relation in this way, that they prefer don't making bomb over the one individual, that country or country, one country has the bomb but other country does not. If the making of the cost of making a bomb is outweighing to this don't having the bomb, then the relation become this, and this can be represented by a, so suppose this is 2, suppose this is 2 and this is suppose equally, this is 2, this is 0, this is 0, or maybe in another way, suppose this is 3, this is 2, this is 1, this is 0, then for the both of the country, so for the simplicity I will for clarity I want to write don't making bomb by refrain, that means refrain from making bomb, and the bomb means that arms itself, so it will arm itself, so this 2 refrain and arm. Now we'll put if both of them refrain, that is most preferred 3 and one refrain other arm, so one don't make bomb but other, so this is least preferred, so this is 0 2 and again this will be 2 0, and if both of them making bomb then that will be, so this is again represented by the stag hunt game. So that's it for the today's class. In the next class we will see the hawk dove game, the another class of game that is called hawk dove game, and then we will introduce the Nash equilibrium concept. So thank you.